The meeting room on Luna Base 7 felt cold and empty. The white walls and bright lights made everything look clean but unwelcoming. Ambassador Lisa Martinez sat at the long metal table, her hands folded in front of her. She wore her best blue uniform with the Earth flag on her shoulder. Across from her sat Admiral Jake Sullivan, a tall man with gray hair and serious eyes. Next to him, Dr. Katie Morrison adjusted her glasses and looked at her tablet. They were waiting for the aliens. The Zephyrian Empire had sent a message 3 days ago. They wanted to meet. They wanted to talk. Lisa knew it would not be good news. The door opened with a soft hiss. 3 tall figures walked in. They looked like humans, but bigger, much bigger. Their skin was dark purple and their eyes were bright yellow. They wore heavy armor that made clicking sounds when they moved. The one in front had more decorations on his chest. Gold symbols covered his armor like medals. "I am High Commander Veltar of the Zephyrian Empire," the alien said. His voice was deep and loud. It filled the whole room. "You will listen to my words." Lisa nodded. "Welcome to Luna Base 7. I am Ambassador Martinez. This is Admiral Sullivan and Dr. Morrison. Please, sit down." The aliens did not sit. They stood like soldiers at attention. Veltar pulled out a small device. It glowed with blue light. Words appeared in the air above it. The words were in English. "The Zephyrian Empire has ruled the stars for 1,000 years, Veltar began. He spoke each word slowly and clearly. "We have conquered 43 worlds. We have brought peace to 12 star systems. We are strong. We are mighty. No one can stand against us." Jake looked at his tablet. The translation program was working. Every word the alien spoke appeared on his screen. Katie was taking notes. She found the aliens interesting from a science point of view. "Your species is young," Veltar continued. "You have just learned to travel between stars. You know nothing of the galaxy. You know nothing of power. We offer you a choice." Lisa leaned forward. "Here it comes," she thought. The same speech they probably gave to all the other worlds. "You can join our empire. You can serve us. You can live under our protection. Or you can fight us and die. We have seen your ships. We have counted your weapons. You cannot win. No one can win against the Empire." The alien commander pressed a button on his device. New words appeared in the air, numbers and pictures of spaceships. The Zephyrian fleet was huge, thousands of ships, millions of soldiers, weapons that could destroy planets. "You have 72 of your Earth hours to decide," Veltar said. "Surrender now, and your people will live. They will serve, but they will live. Fight us, and we will bring the wrath of 1,000 suns upon your world. Your cities will burn, your people will die, your planet will become dust." The room was quiet. The aliens' words hung in the air like a threat. This was the moment when most species would panic. This was when they would beg for mercy or try to negotiate. This was when they would show fear. Instead, Lisa Martinez started to laugh. It began as a small giggle. Then it grew louder. She put her hand over her mouth but could not stop. The sound echoed off the white walls. Jake looked at her with surprise. Then he started to smile. The smile became a grin. The grin became a laugh. Dr. Morrison looked up from her notes. She saw Lisa laughing. She saw Jake laughing. She read the alien's speech again on her tablet. A smile spread across her face. Soon she was laughing too. Veltar stepped back. His yellow eyes grew wide. This was not what was supposed to happen. Fear was supposed to happen. Crying was supposed to happen. Begging was supposed to happen. Not this. "Why do you make this noise?" Veltar demanded. "Do you not understand? We will destroy you." Lisa wiped tears from her eyes. She tried to stop laughing but could not. "I'm sorry," she said between giggles. "It's just... Did you really say Wrath of 1,000 Suns?" Jake was holding his stomach. "That's from Star Trek," he said. "The old TV show, From like 60 years ago. And the whole resistance is futile thing, Katie added. That's from Star Trek, too. The Borg said that. Veltar looked confused. What is this Star Trek? What is this Borg? Lisa took a deep breath and tried to be serious, but every time she looked at the alien, she wanted to laugh again. It's a show, a TV show, about space. You're quoting lines from our entertainment. This is not entertainment, Veltar shouted. This is war! This is conquest! We are the Zephyrian Empire! And we're sure you're very scary, Jake said. He was still smiling. But come on, 1,000 suns? Really? Do you know how hot just one sun is? Katie pulled up some numbers on her tablet. The surface of our sun is about 10,000 degrees. The core is 15 million degrees, so 1,000 suns would be, well, really hot. You mock us, one of the other aliens said. His voice was higher than Veltar's. No species has ever mocked the Empire. Well, there's a first time for everything, Lisa said. She had finally stopped laughing, but she was still smiling. Look, we appreciate you coming all this way. We really do. But your whole scary speech thing, it's not working. Veltar stood very still. His armor made small clicking sounds. You do not fear us. Should we? Jake asked. I mean, you seem nice enough, big, purple, lots of armor. But scary? Not really. We have destroyed worlds, Veltar said. So have we, Katie said quietly. We've been trying to destroy our own world for years. Pollution, wars, climate change. We're pretty good at destruction. We command vast fleets. We've seen your numbers, Jake said. Impressive. But we've watched a lot of science fiction movies. Space battles are fun to watch. We are ancient. We are wise. Ancient is just old, Lisa said. And if you were really wise, you'd know that threatening people is not a good way to make friends. Veltar looked at his two companions. They looked back at him. None of them knew what to do. In 1,000 years of conquest, no species had ever responded like this. No species had ever laughed at them. You will regret this, Veltar said finally. You will remember this day when your world burns. Will we, though? Lisa asked. Because right now, the only thing I'll remember is how you quoted Star Trek at us with a straight face. The aliens turned and walked toward the door. Their armor clicked with each step. At the door, Veltar stopped and looked back. 72 hours, he said. Remember that number. Oh, we will, Jake called after him. We'll probably put it on t-shirts. The door closed behind the aliens. The room was quiet again. Lisa, Jake, and Katie sat in silence for a moment. Well, Katie said finally, that was different. They're going to attack us, Jake said. You know that, right? We just laughed at the most powerful empire in the galaxy. Lisa nodded. Probably. But did you see their faces? They had no idea what to do with us. So what do we do now? Katie asked. Lisa stood up and straightened her uniform. Now we go tell Earth what happened, and then we let the internet do what the internet does best. Which is? Lisa smiled. It was not a kind smile. It was the smile of someone who had just discovered something interesting, something useful. Make fun of. Everything. The news spread across Earth faster than any disease. Within 1 hour of Ambassador Martinez's report, every news station was talking about the alien ultimatum. Within 2 hours, the internet had taken over. Alex Chen sat in his small apartment in San Francisco. He was 25 years old and worked for a tech company. He had seen the news about the aliens. He had watched the recording of the meeting. Now he was laughing so hard he could barely type. This is gold, he said to his empty apartment. Pure gold. Alex opened his laptop and started a new video editing project. He took the recording of the alien commander speaking. He added text at the bottom that said, "When you order Galactic Conquest from Wish.com." Then he added a sound effect of a sad trombone after every threat. He uploaded the video to every social media platform he could think of. He added hashtags. Lots of hashtags. The video had 10,000 views in 5 minutes. 100,000 views in 10 minutes. 1 million views in an hour. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, Sam Rodriguez was having the same idea. Sam was a content creator with 2 million followers. He had been making funny videos for 3 years. He had never had material this good. Sam downloaded the alien speech and started working. He added clips from old science fiction movies. Every time the alien said something threatening, Sam cut to a scene from a cheesy space movie from the 1980s. He added dramatic music. He added explosions. He made the alien commander look like a bad actor in a low-budget film. "The Wrath of 1,000 Suns," Sam said into his camera, imitating the alien's deep voice. "Bro, that's just called Summer in Arizona." His video got 5 million views in 2 hours. On the Aegis station, Captain Nina Brooks was supposed to be preparing for war. The space station orbited Earth and served as an early warning system. If the aliens attacked, Aegis station would see them coming first. But instead of checking weapons systems, Nina and her crew were watching videos on their tablets. Sergeant Tony Williams had found a compilation of the best alien memes. He was laughing so hard he had tears in his eyes. "Look at this one," Tony said, showing his screen to the others. Someone had put the alien commander's face on the body of a tiny dog. The caption read, "Very scary. Much threat." "Wow." "And this one," said Lieutenant Carol Price. She showed them a picture of the alien commander with the words, "When you're trying to be scary, but you accidentally quote Star Trek." Captain Brooks tried to be serious. She really did. But when she saw a video of the alien speech dubbed over with cartoon voices, she lost it. The whole control room erupted in laughter. "Captain," said Communications Officer Bill Davis, "we're getting reports from all over the planet. No one is panicking. Everyone is just making jokes." Nina wiped her eyes and tried to focus. "What about the government? What about the military?" "They're taking it seriously," Bill said. "But the people? The people think it's hilarious." In New York City, comedian Danny Foster was having the best day of his career. He had been performing stand-up comedy for 10 years. He had never had an audience like this. The comedy club was packed. People were standing in the back. Some were sitting on the floor. "So these aliens show up," Danny said into the microphone. "And they're like, 'We'll bring the wrath of 1,000 suns.' And I'm thinking, have you seen what we did to our own planet? We call that Tuesday." The audience roared with laughter. "They said they've conquered 43 species. 43! You know what humans have conquered? Each other, for thousands of years. We're professionals at this stuff." More laughter. "And they gave us 72 hours to surrender." 72 hours! My Wi-Fi takes longer than that to reset. The crowd was loving it. Danny's routine was being streamed live on 12 different platforms. 50 million people were watching. Comments were flooding in from all over the world. Everyone was sharing their own jokes about the aliens. At a secure facility in Colorado, Intelligence Officer Claire Adams was not laughing. Her job was to monitor alien communications. She had equipment that could pick up radio signals from across the solar system. What she was hearing worried her. The aliens were talking to each other. A lot. Their communications were encrypted, but Claire's computers were breaking the codes. The translations were rough, but she could understand the basic meaning. The aliens were confused. Really confused. "Commander," one message said, "the humans are not responding as expected. They show no fear. They seem to be making fun of us." "Impossible," came the reply. "No species makes fun of the Empire. Check your translation software." "Translation is correct, Commander. They are definitely mocking us. They have made thousands of videos. Millions of humans are watching. They are all laughing." Claire printed out the conversations and took them to her supervisor. Colonel Frank Miller read through them twice. "They don't know what to do with us," Claire said. "They've never encountered a species that responds to threats with humor." Is that good or bad for us? The colonel asked. Claire thought about it. I think it's good. They're off balance. They expected fear and got laughter instead. But, sir, there's something else. What? Other species are watching. The aliens have a galactic communication network. News of what happened is spreading to other worlds. Species that are part of the alien empire are starting to ask questions. The colonel raised an eyebrow. What kind of questions? Questions like, if the mighty Zephyrians can't handle humans laughing at them, how mighty are they really? Back on social media, the memes were getting more creative. Someone had made a video game where you played as the alien commander and tried to be scary, but every time you spoke, cartoon sounds played instead of your voice. Someone else had created a song called Wrath of a Thousand Suns that was just a remix of the alien's speech with a dance beat. The hashtag Galactic Fail was trending worldwide. So was Thousand Suns and Alien quote Star Trek. A group of college students in Boston had organized a Thousand Suns party. They were going to dress up like aliens and quote science fiction movies at each other. Similar parties were being planned in dozens of cities. The aliens had wanted to terrify humanity into submission. Instead, they had become the biggest joke in human history, and the joke was spreading. In a basement in Detroit, teenage hacker Kelly White was doing something that would change everything. She had broken into the alien communication network. It was not hard. The aliens had never encountered a species with advanced computer skills, but no respect for authority. Kelly was not trying to steal secrets or start a war. She just wanted to upload a video. The video was a compilation of the best human responses to the alien ultimatum. It was funny, but it was also something else. It was defiant. It showed a species that refused to be bullied. Kelly uploaded the video directly to the alien network. Every ship in their fleet would see it. Every commander would watch it. The aliens would see exactly what humanity thought of their threats. The video was titled, Thanks for the Laughs. It ended with a message in the alien language that Kelly had translated using their own computers. Earth says hi. Try harder next time. Within minutes, alien communication channels exploded with chatter. Ship commanders were demanding explanations. Lower-ranking officers were asking why humans were not afraid. Some were even asking if they should be afraid of humans. The psychological warfare was working, but it was not the aliens using it on humans. It was humans using it on the aliens, and the aliens had no idea how to fight back against an enemy that refused to take them seriously. The Zephyrian war fleet arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system exactly 72 hours after the ultimatum. 50 massive ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel and arranged themselves in attack formation. Each ship was the size of a city. Their weapons could destroy planets. High Commander Veltar stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Conquest. He expected to see Earth's communication channels filled with panic. He expected to see surrender messages. He expected fear. Instead, his communications officer looked confused. "Commander," the officer said, "we are receiving a transmission from Earth." "Good," Veltar said. "They wish to surrender." "I do not think so, Commander. The message is strange." Veltar frowned. "Put it on the main screen." The screen showed a human face. It was Captain Ryan Parker of the Earth ship Defiance. Behind him, Veltar could see a small bridge with flashing lights and computer screens. The human was smiling. "This is Captain Parker of the Earth Defense Force," the human said. "Welcome to our solar system. Hope you had a nice trip. We've been expecting you." Veltar stepped forward. "Human, you will surrender immediately. You cannot fight the Empire." "Oh, we're not here to fight," Captain Parker said. "We're here to give you a show." "A show?" "That's right. See, while you were traveling here, we were busy. We made some preparations. Would you like to see?" Before Veltar could answer, lights began flashing outside his ship. But these were not weapon discharges. These were not explosions. These were colored lights in patterns. The human ships, all 12 of them, had covered themselves in bright lights. The lights flashed in time with music, music that was being broadcast on all frequencies so the alien ships could hear it. Engineer. Lily Wang was in the engine room of the Defiance, making sure all the lights worked properly. She had spent 3 days rigging every external light on the ship to flash in patterns. The pattern matched the rhythm of Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, one of Earth's most famous internet songs. Light show is working perfectly, she reported to Captain Parker. All systems are synchronized. On his bridge, Captain Parker watched the alien fleet on his main screen. The huge alien ships just sat there, not moving. He could imagine the confusion on their bridges. "Attention, Zephyrian fleet," Captain Parker said into his communicator. "You said you wanted to bring the wrath of 1,000 suns. Well, we brought the power of 1,000 memes. How do you like our disco lights?" The alien ships remained motionless. Captain Parker could see weapons ports opening on some of them, but no shots were fired. The aliens seemed to be waiting for orders. "We also have a message for you," Captain Parker continued. "It's from the people of Earth." The music stopped. The lights stopped flashing. For a moment, space was quiet and dark. Then every human ship began broadcasting the same message. It was a video compilation made by the internet. Thousands of humans from all over the world had recorded short messages for the aliens. They were not threats or demands. They were jokes. "Hey, aliens," said a teenager from Japan. "Thanks for the free entertainment. Your scary speech was better than most movies." "Greetings from Australia," said an elderly man in a cowboy hat. "We've got spiders here scarier than you lot." "Hello from Brazil," said a woman dancing to music. "If you want to conquer something, try conquering this dance floor." The messages kept coming, hundreds of them, all making fun of the aliens, all showing that humanity was not afraid. On the Eternal Conquest, Veltar watched in growing anger and confusion. "What is this?" he demanded. "Why are they not afraid?" His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Kresnak, checked his instruments. "Commander, we are detecting broadcasts on multiple frequencies. The humans are transmitting this message to the entire galaxy." "What do you mean?" "Every species with radio technology can hear this. All of our subject worlds, all of our allies, everyone can see what is happening." Veltar's yellow eyes grew wide. This was worse than he thought. The humans were not just refusing to surrender. They were making the Empire look foolish in front of the entire galaxy. "Commander," said the communications officer, "we are receiving messages from the home fleet. They want to know why we have not attacked yet." "And what do I tell them?" Veltar asked. "I do not know, Commander. The humans are not following normal warfare protocols. They are dancing." It was true. On the screens showing the human ships, the crews could be seen through windows, moving to the music. They were having a party in the middle of a war zone. Captain Parker appeared on the screen again. "Oh, and one more thing," he said. "We reviewed your terms of surrender, and we have a counter-offer." Veltar leaned forward. Finally, some sense from these creatures. "What is your offer? How about you go home and we'll pretend this never happened? We'll even delete the memes, most of them." "Delete the what?" "The memes, the jokes, the funny pictures. Though, to be honest, some of them are really good. There's one where your face is on a cat body that's just perfect." Behind Captain Parker, his crew was clearly trying not to laugh. Some of them were not trying very hard. "This is not acceptable," Veltar shouted. "You will surrender, or we will destroy you." "Okay, Captain," Parker said. "But before you do that, you should know something. Every species in the galaxy is watching this. Your own people are watching this. And right now, they're all seeing the mighty Zephyrian Empire being trolled by a bunch of humans in tiny ships." Trolled, made fun of, mocked, laughed at. You came here to terrify us, but all you did was give us material for jokes. On the Eternal Conquest, several bridge officers were looking at their instruments with worry. Sub-Commander Kresnak approached Veltar quietly. "Commander," he whispered, I'm receiving reports from across the Empire. Our subject worlds are asking questions. Some are saying that if we cannot handle humans, perhaps we are not as strong as we claim." Veltar felt something he had never felt before. Doubt. For 1,000 years, the Empire had ruled through fear. No one had ever questioned their power. No one had ever made them look weak. But these humans were doing both. "Commander," said another officer, "the humans are broadcasting something new." On the screen, Captain Parker was holding up a tablet. "We just got word from Earth," he said. "The internet has created a new song about you. Would you like to hear it?" Music began playing. It was the aliens' own ultimatum, but set to a cheerful tune. Human voices sang along with the aliens' threats, turning them into a children's song. "We'll bring the wrath of 1,000 suns, tra-la-la-la-la. Your cities will burn, everyone run, tra-la-la-la-la." "This is insane," Veltar muttered. "Actually," Captain Parker said, as if he could hear, "it's genius. See, you guys made one big mistake. You assumed we would be afraid of you. But humans have spent thousands of years making fun of things that scare us. It's kind of our thing." The human ship's lights began flashing again. But this time they spelled out words in the alien language. The words said, "Please stand by for important announcement." Then every human ship played the same message at the same time. It was Ambassador Martinez from the original meeting. "People of the galaxy," she said. "This is Ambassador Martinez of Earth. We want you to know that the Zephyrian Empire came to our world 3 days ago. They demanded we surrender, or they would destroy us. They said they were mighty. They said they were unstoppable. They said resistance was futile." She paused and smiled. "We disagree." The message continued. "We believe that no one should have to live in fear. We believe that bullies should be stood up to. And we believe that sometimes the best way to fight a bully is to laugh at them. So we invite you to join us. Laugh at the Empire. Make jokes about their threats. Show them that you are not afraid. Because today, we learned something important. The Empire's greatest weapon is fear, and fear only works if you let it." Takas. Message ended. Space was quiet again. 50 alien warships faced 12 human ships, but somehow the humans did not seem outnumbered anymore. They seemed to have the entire galaxy on their side. Dr. Rebecca Shaw stood in the emergency session of the United Nations Security Council. Representatives from every nation on Earth were present, either in person or by video link. The room was tense, but not with fear. It was tense with excitement. "Ladies and gentlemen," Dr. Shaw began, "we have discovered something remarkable about the Zephyrian Empire. Something they probably do not want us to know." She pressed a button and a hologram appeared above the table. It showed the structure of the alien society based on intercepted communications. "The Zephyrian Empire is built entirely on hierarchy and intimidation," she explained. "Every aspect of their society depends on lower ranks fearing higher ranks. Their military works because soldiers fear their commanders. Their empire works because subject species fear their fleet." The British representative leaned forward. "And that helps us how?" "Because we have accidentally attacked their most vulnerable point," Dr. Shaw said. "We have made them look foolish. In their society, respect and fear are the same thing. When you lose one, you lose the other." She pressed another button. New data appeared in the hologram. "We have been monitoring their communications for the past 6 hours. Their command structure is showing cracks. Lower-ranking officers are questioning their superiors. Subject worlds are asking why the mighty empire cannot handle a single human world." The Chinese representative spoke up. "You are saying we can defeat them with jokes?" "I am saying we already are defeating them with jokes. Look at this." The hologram changed to show a map of the galaxy. Red dots showed Zephyrian-controlled worlds. Some of the dots were flashing. 3 worlds have declared independence in the last 4 hours. The Andromedan system, the Tau Ceti colonies, and the Beta Centauri mining worlds. They all say the same thing. If humans can stand up to the Empire, so can they. Meanwhile, on a deep space monitoring station, Captain Ben Thompson was having the time of his life. His job was to listen to alien communications and report anything important. Today, everything was important. "Command, this is Monitor Station 7, he said into his communicator. "You need to hear this." He played a recorded conversation between 2 Zephyrian ship commanders. "How are we supposed to attack them when they are broadcasting everything to the galaxy? I do not know. High Command says to proceed with the attack, but they are making us look like fools. Every time we threaten them, they laugh. Every time we try to be scary, they make a joke. Perhaps we should just leave." "Leave? We cannot leave. We are the Empire." "Are we? Because right now we look like the galaxy's biggest joke." Captain Thompson turned off the recording. "Command, they are falling apart. Their own people do not want to fight us. On Earth, the response to the standoff was unlike anything in human history. Instead of panic or fear, there was a massive party. In every major city, people gathered in public squares to watch the live broadcasts from space. They cheered every time the human ships did something funny. They laughed every time the aliens looked confused. In London's Trafalgar Square, 10,000 people were singing the Wrath of a Thousand Suns song that had become an internet hit. In Tokyo, people were dressed up like aliens and pretending to give scary speeches. In New York's Times Square, someone had set up a giant screen showing the best alien memes from the past 3 days. But the most important thing was happening in places humans had never heard of. On distant worlds across the galaxy, other species were watching, and they were learning. On the mining world of Kepler 442b, the local population had been enslaved by the Zephyrians for 50 years. They worked in dangerous mines and lived in fear of their alien overlords. But today, something changed. A miner named Zeph saw the human broadcasts on a smuggled radio. He watched humans laugh at the same threats that had terrified his people for decades. He saw tiny human ships making the mighty empire look foolish. "Brothers," he called to his fellow miners, "come see this. The humans are fighting the empire." With laughter. Word spread through the mines, then through the worker settlements, then through the whole planet. By the end of the day, the Zephyrian garrison found graffiti on their walls. Graffiti that showed alien commanders with funny faces and jokes written in the local language. The garrison commander tried to arrest the rebels, but there were too many of them. Half the planet was making jokes about the Empire. And when the commander tried to call for backup, he was told that the fleet was busy dealing with a human situation. On the Zephyrian homeworld, the situation was even worse. The High Council of the Empire was meeting in emergency session. These were the beings who had ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years. They were used to fear and respect. They were not used to being laughed at. "How did this happen?" demanded High Chancellor Mordak, the supreme leader of the Empire. "How did one primitive world make us look weak?" "They are not fighting us in the traditional way," explained War Minister Felthar. "They are using a form of psychological warfare we have never encountered. They are making us seem ridiculous." "Ridiculous? We are the Empire. We have conquered 43 worlds." "Yes, but those worlds are now asking questions. They want to know why we cannot handle the humans. Some are saying that perhaps we were never as strong as we claimed." The High Chancellor slammed his fist on the table. "Then we destroy the humans. We make an example of them." "That might make things worse," said Intelligence Minister Vorkon. "If we destroy them now, other species will see it as the act of a weak empire trying to cover up embarrassment. And the humans are broadcasting everything live. The whole galaxy will watch us kill a species whose only crime was making jokes. On the human side, Colonel Maria Santos was preparing for a very unusual diplomatic mission. She had volunteered to fly to the alien flagship under a flag of truce, but she was not going to negotiate surrender. She was going to deliver a presentation. You sure about this?" asked Admiral Jake Sullivan over the radio. "These aliens could kill you the moment you board their ship." "They could," Maria agreed as she piloted her small shuttle toward the massive alien vessel. "But they won't. That's the beauty of this situation. They cannot kill a diplomatic envoy while the whole galaxy is watching. It would make them look even worse." The shuttle docked with the Eternal Conquest. Maria was escorted to the bridge by alien guards who looked very unhappy. She carried only a tablet computer and a small projector. High Commander Veltar waited for her on the bridge. He was surrounded by his officers, all trying to look intimidating. Maria was not intimidated. "Commander Veltar," she said with a polite nod, "thank you for agreeing to see me." "You will surrender now," Veltar said without any greeting. "This foolishness has gone on long enough." "Actually," Maria said, "I came to give you a presentation. I think you will find it very educational." She set up her projector before anyone could stop her. A holographic display appeared in the center of the bridge. "This is a timeline of the last 3 days," Maria began, as if she were giving a business presentation. "As you can see, your ultimatum was delivered on day 1. By day 2, it had become the most mocked threat in galactic history. Today, day 3, your empire is experiencing its first major rebellions in centuries." The display showed planets declaring independence, subject species refusing orders, and alien commanders questioning their superiors. "But that's not the best part," Maria continued. "The best part is what happened to your reputation." New images appeared. They showed alien memes created by dozens of different species. The Empire had become a joke to every intelligent life form in the galaxy. "You see," Maria explained, "you made one critical error. You assumed that fear was your greatest weapon. But fear only works against people who have something to lose. Humans have already nearly destroyed our own planet multiple times. We are not afraid of threats because we live with threats every day." She paused and looked directly at Veltar. "But more importantly, you forgot that laughter is stronger than fear. Fear divides people, laughter brings them together, and right now, the entire galaxy is laughing at you." Veltar stood very still. Around him, his bridge crew was looking at the data with growing alarm. The presentation showed that the Empire was in real trouble. Not from human weapons, but from human jokes. "What do you want?" Veltar asked finally. Maria smiled. "We want you to go home. We want you to leave us alone. And we want you to think, very carefully, about whether threatening people is really the best way to get what you want. And if we refuse, then we will keep doing what we are doing. We will keep making jokes. We will keep broadcasting them to the galaxy. And eventually, you will not have an empire left to rule." The bridge was silent except for the sound of computer systems. Every officer was looking at their commander, waiting for orders. But Veltar had no idea what to order. "How do you fight an enemy that defeats you by laughing?" The retreat began not with official orders, but with panicked communications between Zephyrian commanders. Captain Ben Thompson, still monitoring alien transmissions from his deep space station, listened in amazement as the mighty empire fell apart in real time. "Fleet Command, this is Battleship Dominance," came one transmission. "Request permission to withdraw from human space. My crew is refusing to fight. They say the whole galaxy is watching and we look like idiots." "Dominance, this is Fleet Command. You will maintain position and await orders. Fleet Command, my officers are laughing at me. They are sharing human memes on their personal communicators. I have lost control of my ship. Dominance, you will restore order immediately." "How?" "The humans just broadcast a video of my ship with cartoon eyes drawn on it. My crew thinks it is funny. I think it is funny. How do I fight people who make me laugh at myself?" Similar conversations. were happening across the alien fleet. Ship after ship reported the same problem. Their crews had seen the human broadcasts. They had seen their empire being mocked by creatures they were supposed to be afraid of. And they were starting to question everything they had been taught. On the flagship Eternal Conquest, High Commander Veltar was having the worst day of his military career. He stood on his bridge, surrounded by officers who would not meet his eyes. Half of them were secretly watching human videos on their personal devices. "Sir," said Subcommander Kresnak quietly, "we have a problem." "Another one?" Veltar asked. "3 more worlds have declared independence. The Vega colonies, the Wolf system, and the entire Centaurus sector. They are all using human phrases in their independence declarations." "What phrases?" Kresnak looked embarrassed. "Things like resistance is not futile, and we choose laughter over fear. Some of them are even using human memes in their official documents." Veltar closed his yellow eyes and tried to think. In 3 days, a species he had never heard of had destroyed an empire that had lasted 1,000 years, and they had done it with jokes. On Earth, Admiral Kevin Walsh was preparing to address the planet from the bridge of humanity's newest and largest ship, the Aurora. The ship was not very impressive by alien standards, but it was the best humanity had, and today, it was enough. "People of Earth," Admiral Walsh began, looking directly into the camera. 3 days ago, an alien empire threatened to destroy our world. They expected us to surrender. They expected us to beg for mercy. Instead, we did something they never anticipated. We laughed at them. The Admiral paused and looked out at the stars through the bridge windows. "Today, I am proud to announce that the Zephyrian fleet is withdrawing from our solar system. They are going home, not because we defeated them in battle, but because we showed the galaxy that bullies are not scary when you refuse to be afraid of them." Across Earth, people were celebrating in the streets, but the celebration was different from a military victory. It was the celebration of people who had discovered their own power, the power to say no to bullies, the power to laugh at threats, the power to stand up for themselves and others. "We learned something important these past few days," Admiral Walsh continued. "We learned that sometimes the most powerful weapon is not a gun or a missile. Sometimes it is refusing to take bullies seriously. Sometimes it is showing them that they are not as scary as they think they are." In her laboratory, Dr. Laura Kim was documenting everything for the historical record. As Earth's leading expert on galactic politics, she knew this moment would be studied for centuries. "Computer, personal log entry," she said. "Today marks the end of the Zephyrian Empire as a galactic power, not destroyed by war, but by ridicule. The humans did not defeat the Empire through superior technology or strategy. They defeated it by exposing its fundamental weakness, the need to be feared." She looked at the data streaming in from across the galaxy. Independence movements were spreading like wildfire. Species that had been enslaved for generations were suddenly standing up for themselves. "The Empire built itself on intimidation," she continued. "But intimidation only works if the target believes the intimidator is powerful. The humans refused to believe this. They treated the Empire like a joke, and in doing so, they showed the galaxy that the Empire was a joke." On the mining world of Kepler 442b, the revolution was complete. The Zephyrian garrison had surrendered without firing a shot, not because they were outnumbered, but because they could not bring themselves to fight miners who were singing human songs and carrying signs with alien meme faces on them. Miner Zeph, who had started the rebellion by sharing human broadcasts, stood on the steps of the former garrison headquarters. A crowd of his fellow workers cheered as he spoke. "Brothers and sisters," he called out, "for 50 years we lived in fear of the Empire. We thought they were powerful. We thought they were unstoppable. But the humans showed us the truth. The Empire is just bullies with big ships. And bullies run away when you stand up to them." The crowd cheered. Someone had made a banner with a human phrase translated into the local language. Laughter is stronger than fear. Similar scenes were playing out across the galaxy. The Andromedan resistance had taken control of their system. The Tau Ceti colonies were forming their own government. Even on worlds that had not rebelled, local populations were openly mocking their Zephyrian overlords. On the Zephyrian homeworld, the situation was desperate. High Chancellor Mordak sat in his throne room, receiving reports of disaster after disaster. His empire was collapsing, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. "My lord," said War Minister Felthar, "perhaps we should negotiate with the humans. Try to reach some kind of agreement." "Negotiate?" Mordak snarled. "We are the Empire. We do not negotiate with primitives." "My lord, the primitives just destroyed our empire with internet videos. Perhaps we should reconsider our approach." Mordak was about to respond when his communications officer rushed into the room. "My lord," the officer said breathlessly, "we have received a message from the humans. They want to talk." The message appeared on the main screen. It was Ambassador Lisa Martinez, the same human who had laughed at their ultimatum 3 days ago. "Greetings, people of the Zephyrian Empire," she said with a friendly smile. "We understand you are going through some difficult times right now. We want you to know that we do not wish to see your civilization destroyed. We just want you to stop bullying other people." She paused, and her expression became more serious. "We are willing to help you transition to a more peaceful way of life. We can share our knowledge of diplomacy, trade, and cooperation. We can show you that it is possible to be strong without being feared. But first, you need to admit that your old way of doing things is not working anymore." The message ended with an image of Earth, small and blue and beautiful. "The choice is yours," Lisa's voice said. "You can keep trying to rule through fear and watch your empire crumble. Or you can join the rest of the galaxy in building something better, something based on respect instead of terror." High Chancellor. Mordak stared at the screen for a long time. Around him, his advisors waited for his decision. Outside, he could hear crowds of his own people chanting human phrases and demanding changes to their government. The 1,000-year empire was over. The age of fear was ending. And somehow, it had all started with a human laughing at threats. 1 year later, Dr. Laura Kim published her definitive study of the Zephyrian collapse. The book became required reading at universities across the galaxy. Its final chapter was titled, "The Day Laughter Conquered Fear." The humans did not set out to destroy an empire, she wrote. They simply refused to be intimidated by it. In doing so, they showed every oppressed species in the galaxy that tyrants are only powerful when people believe they are powerful. Once that belief is broken, once people start laughing instead of cowering, empires fall remarkably quickly. The former Zephyrian Empire split into dozens of independent worlds. Some remained isolated and bitter about their loss of power, but many others took the humans up on their offer of help. They learned new ways of governing. They discovered that cooperation was more effective than conquest. The humans, meanwhile, became something they had never expected to be. The galaxy's teachers of resistance. Species facing oppression would send messages to Earth, asking for advice on how to stand up to bullies. The answer was always the same: do not be afraid, and never let them see you take them seriously. Earth's greatest contribution to galactic civilization was not advanced technology or military might. It was the simple, revolutionary idea that no one, no matter how powerful they seemed, was too important to be laughed at. The galaxy was never quite the same, and for the first time in centuries, that was a good thing.